Before we start programming, let's look at a typical print and see how the dimensions are laid out for our purposes. We use a popular stick figure print design with center-to-center dimensions. This outside post is 42 inches long, and at the bottom it is a flat 90 cut, and at the top it is a flat 45. This inside post is also 42 inches long, still with a flat 90 at the bottom, but at the top it is now a coped 90, or a C90. The mid rails are coped 90 at both ends and are 30 inches long. The top rail is flat 45s at both ends and 60 inches long. If you were to use a tape measure on this part when it's burnt, it would be 60 plus 1 pipe size minus 2 wall thicknesses because we put a weld prep on the end. We don't have a knife edge that needs to be ground off. We've already taken care of the grinding. Let's start with the outer post. We'll go to Pieces, New Piece. It can be titled Outer Post. The material is round, and we've selected 1.5" material which has a diameter of 1.9. The popular wall thickness of 0.145 is defaulted. On the outer post, we have a flat 90 on the bottom and a flat 45 on the top. And the length is 42 inches. The quantity is 2 pieces. Save New. The inner post is back to a quantity of 1. It's still a length of 42. The bottom is still a flat 90, and the top is now a coped 90. Save New. Now we'll go to the top rail. The top rail has the same material. It's 60 inches long, center to center, and a flat cut at 45 on both ends. Save New. The mid rails, which have a quantity of 2, item 4 here, their length is half of the top rail, and they're coped at 90 at the ends. Save New. We move from creating the pieces to creating a batch. We're going to create a new batch and title it the batch name. In this case, HR101. Now we want all of the pieces we've created, the inner post, the mid rails, the outer post, and the top rail. When we move them over, we can see that it automatically nests them into 2 sticks of material, the stock length being 252, and it tells us how much material is left. In the first stick, the nest works out to have a remainder of about 21 inches. And with that, we're all done and can click G-code, which is the file that will run on the machine. Depending on your settings, it will load automatically, and your operator can press the green OK button. The second print we'll take a look at is a sloped rail. One of the key dimensions that makes the software the most helpful as we work through the pieces is the slope itself. The slope is horizontal, and whether you put in a calculated degree or a pitch, PieceMaker will back calculate it to degrees, which we will see momentarily. For clarification, this internal angle is 60 degrees, or 30 subtracted from 90 degrees. Starting with the top rail, the center-to-center dimension is 147 3/8. An example on the P return would be 18 inches center-to-center, not long points, not short points. The 4 posts are going to be equal dimensions at 39.688 inches, measuring from the top of the plate to the center line of the top rail. The setback of the cope is automatically accounted for. The mid-rails measure 45.021 inches center to center. Once again, the modified cope to the according length is done for you as long as you enter the actual center to center dimensions. Now that we've looked over the dimensions of the sloped rail, we can program it in PieceMaker. We'll start by going to Pieces and creating a new piece. Entering the parts in numerical order, we'll start with item number 1, which is the top rail. It's 1.5-inch pipe, schedule 40, and we'll enter the slope, which is 6 plus 15/16. You could also enter it in degrees. Either way, the program will convert into automated calculations. The top end is a flat cut with the joint angle top rail transition to horizontal. The length is 147.375. And the bottom is a flat cut angled with top rail transition to vertical. Save piece number 1 and continue to piece number 2, which are the mid rails. There are a total of 3 mid rails. They are the same material and slope, but are coped to a post and mid-rail angle. The length is 45.021, and they are parallel, so a rotational offset of 180 degrees is needed. The bottom is also coped at a post and mid-rail angle. At that point, you may choose to add weep holes for galvanizing. Save or update item 2. Moving on to piece 3, which are the posts. They have a quantity of 4, based in the same material and slope. The top is coped at the same angle. The post length is 39.688, and they are parallel, so the rotational offset remains the same. The bottom is mitered at the same angle, and weep holes are not needed. Save piece 3 and move on to piece 4, the lower P-rail vertical part. Same slope and material. And the top is a flat cut angled with top rail transition to vertical. The length is set to 18, and the rotational offset is reset to 0. The bottom is a flat cut at vertical to mid-rail upwards. There is only a quantity of 1. Save. Piece number 5 has the same bottom end as the vertical, and the top is coped at the post and mid-rail value. Its length is 7.062. Save. Piece number 6 is, again, the same slope and material, and is flat cut at 45 degrees. The length is 18, and flat cut at 45 on the bottom as well. Save. On piece number 7, the top end stays the same, but the length is changed to 4.5 and angle is changed to top rail transition to horizontal on the opposite end. Save. Piece number 8 is the same as piece 7, except the ends are rotated at 180 degrees. Save. Finally, we have piece number 9. The top end is flat cut and angled with top rail transition to horizontal. Its length is 5 1/4, and there is no rotational offset. The bottom is coped to the post and mid-rail angle. After saving the final piece, we can move into the batch list. Create a new batch and title it the batch name. In this case, HR102. It is assigned to an assembly by default. Select all 9 pieces from the sloped rail and move them over to the cut list to nest them. For this project, it took 3 sticks of material of 21 feet each. The third stick had a remainder of about 202 inches, the second stick had around 4.8 inches left, and the first stick had a tight remainder of around 1.9 inches. Once all of the information is confirmed, press G-code to obtain the file for the operator to load on the machine and start production. It's that easy. After just a few minutes of programming, the handrails are ready for production and assembly.